downstream. The Pisces life, the Pisces life. Two fish living in a dream. One swimming up, one swimming downstream. The Pisces life, 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 the Pisces life.
Haven't heard that in a long time.
Right?
Not as it pertains to the Pisces life, that is.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Forgive me, too, for being a little late. I was getting myself hyped up and my anthem music was a little louder than my alarm to say, hey, you're recording the Pisces life tonight with your sis.
Yes, I too had a little thematic music going as well. Not quite hype though. Maybe I should have went hype. It was more like I've been really trying to listen to things that affirm, like affirming things. And so the thing that I've been playing a lot of is Jonathan McReynolds and Molly, Adulting.
Okay.
And I really like, it's a little ditty, because, they've been on tour, like a little tour together, and they made up a little song called Adulting, and I really like it. It really, it's groove-tastic. And makes me feel good when I listen to it.
You're always good at identifying good songs, though, sis. You really are. Remember back in the day when we used to put together our soundtrack, depending on what the theme was or what we were going through or a mood or something from current events? We might need to bring that on back.
That might
the people seem to like that.
They do like that. And music is so different.
Oh, my God.
Right now, so
everything's working, sis, and I can't. I just can't.
No,
the auntie in me cannot.
Not with the bad back and the bad right knee. And then when you twerk, you gotta put your hands on your knees, and you got and Pisces life audience. I got carpal tunnel on the right side, so if I already got a right bad knee and a right bad hand / wrist combination, my twerk is gonna be off skew. I'm just
you just doing a
I'm just doing a little like a more like a the cheerleader pose. Because, if I start moving anything in the back, I'm going to fall over. So,
wow.
Yes, we'll leave the twerking for those who enjoy doing so.
Listen, enjoy yourselves. You can have it. You can have it. Let me know. Now, listen, tag me back in if they start doing shoulders. They take it back to that Janet Jackson control pleasure principle level. Bring shoulders back. I'm in there.
Because we like a good shoulder.
Okay.
We were listening to Michael Jackson. You rock my world, you did. And when we were in Rhode Island, and everybody in the car was, had their little, bounce going. And I said, this song was when Michael was killing us with the shoulders. Y'all didn't know nothing about Michael killing us with the shoulders. Y'all rock my world, you did. I was like, oh, Mike, kill us with the shoulders. So,
he definitely gave us some great music before he left this earth. God rest his soul.
Yes, he was a genius, certainly, in his own right. And certainly, since we've been gone, there was a conversation that apparently compared Drake to Michael Jackson.
Oh, I saw that. Shout out to the Shade Room. If it wasn't for the Shade Room keeping me young, I don't know what this auntie would do, honey. But it's to the point, though, sis. I got to be honest. I got to do a lot of Googling in the other tab to see, now, who is this here? I feel like, the old folk, who is this here? Is this so-and-so's son? Who is this? Whose niece is this? Who is so the Shade Room keeps me up on most of it. And then some things it puts me on that I'm like, oh, wow, that was not for me. That was not for me.
So speaking of not being for you, have you listened to and and or saw the Chloe? No, it's Chloe. The Chloe Bailey. What's it called? Lord, look at me like auntie. Lord have mercy. I believe it's called Have Mercy. I don't think you use the good Lord's name in vain. Have Mercy is what the name of the song is. Did you see that video?
I saw snippets of it thanks to the Shade Room, and it was enough for me. I said, this is not for me. This is not for me. This is not for me. But I also saw her sister singing, Haley doing Ariel. I mean, not Ariel, but, also known as Ariel, whenever they make that. They got that on hold, don't they? But anyway, when she did her Disney remake of Can You Feel?
Can you feel the love tonight? Yes. She was beautiful.
It was enchanting.
It was enchanting. That's such a good
was
word.
enchanting when she sung that. Not to take sides, because I like both sisters. But in terms of the artistry, I think that I'm more in the Disney lane than more in the hot damn twerk it up lane. And bless that sister. Bless that sister. I pray that her knees just keep on getting up and down.
Yes, Lord. Yes, Lord.
And I pray that she finds her vein. Right now, she also reads so Beyonce to me. Yeah. And, somebody chopped me all the way live. Well, I mean, what do you think? That's her Beyonce. Beyonce is her mentor. I mean, that's her, that's who she looks up to. And then I was like, okay. Calm down, Beehive. Captain number 22 of the Midwest here.
Midwest region, Captain.
Calm down. And that's all I was saying. I said, and it's maybe this was coming all along. I don't know. It was almost like the two of them were both, the grownish girls growing up, coming into their young womanness. And then the Twitter split. Folks had something to say. Then the next day, we getting the silhouette challenge from Miss Chloe here, and she tore that challenge down. I mean, the internet, the whole internet, all the socials was sis. I'm hoping that there's a more cleaner space that she carves out for herself where people are not saying, and people were saying the same thing about Kelly Rowland. Oh, da 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 da. But when Kelly Rowland came out with her very first solo album and she performed at that award show, I said, tonight, Kelly Rowland became Kelly. And I think that was a space that I'm hoping that Chloe can get into. Now, what are your thoughts?
So I like the song. I didn't know that it was her song because, of course, I'm old. And so you hear things on pieces and snippets of songs off of Instagram is really where I saw it. And I had no idea that it was her. I haven't transitioned to the TikTok yet, so I don't know what's going on, child. But the song was cute, but I just was singing my own words to it. I had really no clear reference as to what they were actually saying. So I just would be in the kitchen, who can bake it like I do? Who can shake it like I do? Like according to what I was making for the
Duncan Hines and fried chicken.
Exactly. I didn't know what was actually being said until I saw that she did the performance or the video. I can't remember which one I saw first, but certainly the Beyonce influence is there. And what I thought was really interesting is that she moved like right in line with the Megan Thee Stallion, the Cardi B.
Yes.
Like
almost seamlessly.
Just next in line. And I would have loved to see her occupy a vocalist space that tapped into like the sultry, the sensual, because she's a young woman. I look back to my 20 year old me, graduating from college, wearing snap under tops, no bra, and big Jodeci boots and pants and cutoffs, and
fly girl.
Certainly a fly girl. And once I got legal of the age of 21, where I was able to go into the club, there was a nightclub here in the Chicagoland area called The Click. The Click actually turned into a club called E2, and there was a really horrible incident that happened at E2, Stampede, and some folks lost their lives. But
yes, I remember that.
Prior to E2, it was called The Click, and I couldn't wait to be old enough to go to The Click because all of my uncles and, all of the folks, of age people in my family just used to talk about how amazing The Click was. And so if you saw me in The Click, those first 2 years, 3 years, so maybe like 21 to 23, I never had no clothes on. They was the most see-through-est, shortest, hanging outest. And I was, a very petite thin woman then, but still coming from a very religious household where you were shamed for wanting to be feminine or at all trying to distinguish yourself between boys.
Right.
I'm a girl and I got things. So moving from that extreme to the other extreme felt okay to me until I got a little bit more mature and on my own, not because people were, commenting or whatever the case may be, but more so just maturity and how I saw myself and trying to establish my own identity and what I wanted to look like and appear in the world. And so backed up off that a little bit, you know what I'm saying? So you may not have got a full see-through outfit, Toni Braxton-esque. You might have got a see-through top, but had on another top underneath it to like give it the inspiration of being see-through, but not actually see-through. So her, the overt gyrations and twerkings and all the rest of that, I understand that wasn't for me. That her messaging and her presentation, her performance, that wasn't for me. But there are people that was for, and it has nothing to do with age. It has nothing to do with judgment versus non-judgment, religious versus spiritual. I think that everybody who expresses themselves in a creative way, your messaging hits home for some, and for others, they just don't align with it. And I just know that wasn't really for me. But I like Chloe as a performer. She can sing. I love her
very talented
performing with her sister. I love the fact that they have been able to kind of find their own individual lanes, and that they are the antithesis to each other almost. And and I think that's healthy, because the world will try to box you into what they believe you should be, and I'm vehemently against that for sure. But I would love to hear her sing, because what we're missing in today's popular music, at least, is the actual vocalizations. Like, where is the vocals? Can I get a run?
Right. I can't even think of a vocalist right now on the charts. A female vocalist.
Exactly.
I really can't think of any right now. Every song that I've heard has been either Saweetie or Meg or Little Somebody, and then something else. But I have not heard a song, a ballad, You know, like, where's SZA at? You know, I thought she was coming out with something. Where's she at? Where's
Her
LMA? Where's she at? Where's I see, I've been listening to Anita Baker here lately. Hell, even if she want to come on back, where she just got her master's back, so maybe that was the impetus for her to even not put out new music in so long. You know, a lot of times the artistry does not cease because the artist is tired or they don't want to do this. I mean, you know, a lot of times it's in that back room. This paperwork ain't right, and I'm tired of we shall not record another note.
Correct.
Until this here paperwork gets right.
I think it's also says the classification, the categorization
girl.
of music, the genres.
Yes.
They were very definite back, 20 years ago. And now everything seems to be crossover. You are
and
either
then the internet.
You're either hip hop or R&B as one category. So a Her can show up in the same charting as a Drake. Which
exactly.
To me seems weird. Like, where are the soul artists? Where are the
Angie Stone-ish lane. Yeah.
Right. So, and then it's like alternative music. So it's like they want to make alternative R&B. Like, that's where they place Her and SZA and those folks. I think what's the good sis? Hey Fran, hey, the Friend Zone podcast, my good.
Oh, the Friend Zone podcast. Yes. How could we forget that?
She called, because it's the pandemic and we up.
Right.
She called those types of singers avocado singers. And so so the LMAs and those type of people, they all kind of have a similar tone. Like, they sing without actually pronunciating all of the words.
Right.
And so I would love to hear something different than that. And I think that Chloe has the ability to be that. She has the ability to pop, lock, and drop it and go into all of the different spaces, weave into the spaces. Beyonce is the muse for being able to do that, to do pop, to do R&B, to do soul, to rock, to do rock, to do the bounce music and all of that. So I am hoping that when her album is forthcoming, which I'm assuming will make its way to us at some point, that is representative of the fact that girl is super uber talented.
She is. She really is, and she deserves her shine. You had made an important point. The categories have changed. What's allowed to play on the playlist have changed. I hear on the men's side the singing, like the Jacquez boy, or do they call him Jacquees? I don't really know how to pronounce it. It's not for the aunties.
Young Jack.
Yeah, because that's what his mama called him. That's what I'm gonna call him. No. But the guys, they are crooning out. Everything else is, the bump and the grind. And then we got there's no in between. You know what I mean? There isn't even on that side a Jaheim or, what's his name? Devon.
Raheem. He just came out with a new album.
Did he? I missed it.
Along with
Fonte.
Can't Stop Loving You. From Detroit.
Kim. Yes. Kim. Yes, with Ron Bishop. Hey, Ron.
Kim just came out with something.
Okay.
I love me some PJ Morton. He's a good.
Me too.
He's a good one for singing. But see,
and they have stuff out. You're right, they do. But where are the women?
But here, okay, so I'm on Spotify. Hey, Spotify. Okay. I'm listening.
Is that still good? Is that?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I am looking at the new jams playlist.
Okay.
And the way that they have it categorized is the newest, freshest R&B tunes. And the face on that playlist is Chloe, interestingly enough.
Interesting.
And so this playlist is a 2-hour and 44-minute playlist. And it has not only Chloe on it, but it also has JoJo, PJ Morton.
It
has Kali Uchis. I believe that's how you pronounce their name.
Okay.
Amber Mark, who I actually like. Lucky Day, which I like. That's a brother. Lucky Day.
Okay.
Givian is a brother. Alina Barres. Tim's is a sister. Seventh Streeter. Hers on there. But what I'm saying,
I like her and Seventh Streeter too.
all these, Eric Bellinger is on there, and I like Eric Bellinger a lot too. Rotimi is on it. So
Girl, Rotimi, congratulations on that new king.
Yes. Got you,
I like him now that he ain't Dre.
Yes, he got his little baby then came, and
his beautiful fiance. They'll be getting married soon. Yes. Yep.
Which is awesome. But this playlist is
he does sing
over the place.
It is. Rotimi does sing.
He does, but isn't he more like world music, Caribbean?
But isn't he more
music?
like an actor, though? I mean, you know what I mean? We're even crossing in those spaces.
It's a lot. It's a lot to maneuver through. And I just feel very disconnected. I need a guide.
Listen, I don't know. I click, every now and then on like the iTunes Music or on YouTube where I listen to music, and they'll be like, this week's 5 hot songs playing on YouTube. And I'm like, I don't know any of these people. Who are they? And what is this I'm listening to? Oh, sis, I've hit that threshold. But speaking of, go ahead. You were going to say something.
No. I was just like, I'm with you. I'm in the
But speaking of the crossings over, so you've got Rotimi, who we know also as an actor, and he's also on the charts. This type of situation is also happening in reality TV. Mm-hmm. And I know you know who I'm talking about. Miss Melody Holt.
What?
The Telltale Signs. Now, I don't know where it has been charting, but it made it #1 a few places, according to her Instagram. And I'm like, okay, she's enjoying her life with this singing career. And like she said, I thought that this career was over for me. I did not know that this was something that was still even accessible to me. She has a video. I liked the video. The video was well shot. It was very nice. The song is cute.
Yeah.
It's just, wow. And then another person who's we know as an actor or know in a television space, Taraji P. Henson, who is out here singing now.
Wait, no. Wait, I didn't miss that. Wait.
Taraji P., honey.
No.
Dropping a single near you. She in the studio now.
No, I thought you
shade room for that.
I missed that. I thought you was going to talk about Sister Candace from Real Housewives of Potomac.
We could go there too. Sister Candace, she has her album out. I actually like that little song that she sung to Chris. Wasn't it to him? And how the producer came in and remixed it, the guy that ended up signing her. I really liked how it came out. I've also seen our dear Sister Candace again, not only the reality TV space, but she was in several of my favorite TV One Black movies that you can catch on Tubi and Pluto.
Yeah.
That type of thing.
A Christmas movie, I think she was in.
Yes.
Right?
And she did a fantastic job. As a matter of fact, I'm not going to lie to you. She did so well. I said, let me go to Google and ask them for the cast directory with their real names. And sure enough, it was her. She did a fantastic job. Awesome. I'm hoping that she sees the light in her talents outside of reality TV, because sis, we just might as well go on there. She's not coming out that nice this season of RHOP. Ooh. Sister Candace, you have been dusted with girl, you just taught in the mouth.
She had a lot to say, and I know a couple of people who are pretty vicious with their words, like cunning, gotcha. They're not no fighters. Maybe one of them is a fighter, but most of them are just, they can get to the root of your pain, trauma, embarrassment, or otherwise, and cut you deep. And she has that ability. The problem with that is that if you gonna be out here cutting people with your words, you got to stand on the fact that you did it. Like, I would rather you be indifferent to my feelings than try to gather allies to support you being picked on or singled out or bullied or whatever the case may be, because you didn't run away like DJ Pooh did in Friday, so they didn't snatch your grandmama chain. You did not do that, sis. You came out and you fought below the belt in a lot of ways, because I mean, there's some shade on that show, and it took me 2020 for me to realize that people watched the show because they were being messy and shady. Like, I watched the reality TV shows that I watched because I like something either about one of the people that are on the show.
Right.
They show interesting houses or places that people live, or whatever the case may be.
Or the vacations. They always go somewhere that I haven't been to. I love the vacations.
Mm-hmm. I love that. But a lot of people watch reality TV because they are tuning in for the shade. And I realized last year when people were making comments about so-and-so didn't give what it was supposed to give, and saying that they life is boring, and they always used to come for poor Cynthia on Real Housewives of Atlanta, talking about she's boring. I mean, she had a whole wedding and everything. It was like boring wedding, boring,
right?
And so that people are tuning in because they really want to see the nastiness. They really want to see the fights. They really they're very much in tune with that kind of interactions between the cast members. And if that is in fact the case, then Candace is doing an amazing job this season, because she has brought out the shade, the knives,
all of it.
She is something else. And I don't know. I'm hesitant to speak on someone's marriage because I don't know them outside of whatever the 7 minutes they be on TV.
Sure.
But there is something afoot with Candace and Chris. And I don't know if it's just because it's new marriage and mixing the new marriage with some reality TV and in a pandemic, with
and you trying to be somebody
and all of that, and she's in school too, and there's a lot going on in that household. But it just feels I feel strained. That's what I read off the screen. Strain.
That's a good word for it. I've looked at that episode one last time again at the table, the most recent episode, spoiler alert, where they have the big fight at the table, her and Ashley, they're yelling back and forth, and Chris goes to get her to move, to get up. That was not a gentle, directional, honey, let me gather you, not even in a heated moment. Mm-hmm. His hand was very forcefully and tightly wrapped on around her. And the tussle, just that little bit of tussle that they had right there at the table, I said to myself, honey, this is just another Friday night after a few drinks, because they were lit. Mm-hmm. They were being bought shots, given shots from the other table, which that was a weird situation. Your wives are all at another table, side note, table full of white guys by themselves, another table full of women by themselves. And they're just all in the mix with what's happening with the RHOP cast. They buy them shots, and then their wives are like, what about your wives buying us drinks, blah. That not even that was enough in the dynamic to get them. The whole restaurant is looking at you. Public displays of this type of aggression, verbally, physically, she's a very small woman.
Very petite.
I would never want him there. I mean, if you go back to that scene, there was a lot of force that he utilized to get her arm down and to get her to get up. Mm-hmm. I know I'm not going anywhere. Oh, she was She was on
riled
one.
up. That adrenaline is something.
She was on one, baby, and the Twitter streets let her have it, you know. Our dear cousins, you know, somebody had said, well, a hit dog will holler. Somebody else replied back. And this little chihuahua keep getting up in people's faces. I said, oh my.
Oh my.
Oh my. Let me get off this hashtag RHOP because it's out tonight. Let me get off of this because they is wearing candy. It's out.
They are. I'm struggling with RHOP this season. And it's not because Monique is gone. You know, a lot of people are like, oh, Monique, you know, and now how you do. It's not because of Monique. Because Monique wasn't ever really like one of my faves. I liked her and Chris on the show because they brought a different type of balance to the Giselle and Robin duo. She was just very different than all of the rest of the housewives, and I like that variety. Mia seems to be more of the same. Mia seems to be the Ashley 20 years from now, with the husband who...
What, sis? Wait, slow this analogy down. What?
So, Ashley Darby, who's married to Michael Darby.
Yes.
Mia reminds me of Ashley in 20 years. Like, Ashley's gonna grow up to be Mia in 20 years because they both have older husbands.
No, I get it now. I'm with you now.
And, you know, the husbands seem like that they believe that they're 40 years younger than what they are.
That's a whole nother episode.
That's a whole nother episode. And so it seems like Mia seems like more of the same versus something that's different, something that is like more refreshing, something. I mean, they brought Wendy on, and Wendy's an interesting character.
Yes.
And personality. I love the fact that she was a professor and she, you know, does the commentary on the news channels and all the rest of that. But how they're at least portraying her this season is less about her being like this boss moves woman versus her chasing Karen to determine how to set up a business line or whatever the case may be. And I'm like, Wendy, like, you're on TV. There wasn't anybody else that you could have asked for advice. Certainly having Sister Karen give you the advice, but it seems like her reach would have been longer to me than just with Karen. But she seems immature in the space. The confidence that we see on CNN, we don't see that in this entrepreneurial manufacturing space. Karen,
with her 1 wick candle now, 1 wick now.
Right.
Wendy got 1 wick, Karen got 3.
Karen's an old hustler. So
from Cyril or Cyril, what's the county?
I think it's Cyril. I think Karen know how to move around, and is seasoned enough to be able to do so.
Yes.
So I'm just struggling a bit. I don't like the continued bullying of Giselle and Robin. And why does Robin act like she's Giselle's bodyguard? And Robin's been a bit crass this season, and maybe that has to do with her depression, you know, that kind of aggression that she's showing. It's just a lot happening on this season of Real Housewives of Potomac. That's what I'm trying to say. There's a lot happening, and it's difficult for me to digest a lot of the times. I'm like, this is heavy. So I haven't been able to get through all of the episodes like fully. I'll normally watch a little, then I like go vacuum or something, come back to it because it'd be too much, sis. I saw a post on Twitter, that tickled me so.
What was it?
It was someone who was talking about Giselle's house.
Oh, Lord.
And the tweet says, Giselle complaining about living quarters when she lives in 3 sheds super glued together. And I was so tickled because they, of course, have the houses. And the visual was just, I couldn't help it. The visual. And the only thing that I could attribute it to was, I said, Giselle's house and how it's come together design-wise resembles much of her wardrobe. What my mama
the
would
true
call
shade is the best shade.
Piecemealed. Piecemeal them together. So
listen, I'm gonna tell you what somebody in my life said about her house. And they called me because I used to do, I was a realtor at one point, did new construction. They said, do you think that she just said, y'all just do what you want as long as I have this over here. And they just said, okay, we went to Menards and got what they had. And this is what we gonna make do. We didn't order nothing. We didn't measure nothing. We just gonna start right here and tag. I mean, it really does look like 3 different houses. And now she's putting this entryway on there. And I'm like, you're doing a foyer with a rounded, it looks like it's going to be like a dome type of, girl, this is not, it's like when people take a manufactured home and just start adding rooms on to it. Ma'am.
Yes. She need Property Brothers. She needs them to come, and someone who could have looked at the aesthetic of her house and made the recommendations. I mean, and this is not to pick on Giselle. This type of stuff happens all the time. You can just come right on to Chicago, right there on Lakeshore Drive, to a place called Soldiers Field. That looks like a coliseum.
Yes.
From the outside, that had a flying saucer land on top of it.
Yes, it does.
Extension. It is the most of all the talented people that design buildings and architectural stuff. You could have did a competition. I believe the 7th grade babies at my son's school would have came up with a better design than that. It looks horrible.
Yes.
So there are people making bad design decisions all over the place.
Not just Giselle.
Bless her heart.
But she loves it. She really loves it. I don't understand the design scheme at all either. Yeah. The help that she had there, I think also just agreed to whatever she wanted.
Correct.
I think that I get it. It was the West Wing. I get it. You wanted your own space where you could glam out. That was yours. That was this. I feel like she lives in the new part of the house and the kids live in the old part of the house.
So and the old part of the house was like a barn stable, child.
Right.
That she can put some feathers on and, some reclaimed furniture, which I like. I like a good reclaimed furniture set now.
Right. Right.
But I think that it's gotta be tough feeling like that. You have to make decisions about how you live and where you live based off of
I know.
Public opinion. It's gotta be tough.
It's gotta be tough. I never want to be that famous. Because I'm gonna do what I want to do.
Yes, Lord.
You might see me with a tent on the side of Kai's house, just coming out to the garden.
Look, if I want to live in a full log cabin that's what I want, like that's gotta be it. Like it's gotta be tough to put on the airs necessary so that people can deem that whatever you're doing in your life is important, because that's what it is. It's like the judgment of your house and its contents therein dictates if you are successful or not, or at least people feel like that dictates if you're successful or not. It's like, so you just live within your means and something really nice.
Right.
It'd be okay.
I mean, you hosted a party in your driveway. The fact that, and maybe sis, it didn't miss you, I thought that it was ironic that you would host a reasonably shady party in a reasonably shady location. Ma'am, we're in your driveway while construction is going on. I mean, the crew is here.
You hosted a party that was filmed with your colleagues, calling it reasonably shady. When the fact that your house is not done after all of this time, as if that apparently is not the easiest shady thing for people to point out. What if one of them girls had a twisted their ankle and slid down the driveway because it wasn't quite together? You know, like,
and you already booted up, Giselle.
Just seems like to me there's not a lot of places that they could have went that would have been nice. Like, why did it have to be? It's like
Robin.
It's like Giselle keeps saying, come over here and look at how important I am. Come over here and look and see how rich I am. I know the Jamal thing. I know. It's like she's trying to deflect off of the Jamal thing by pointing to how well she's doing on her own. And I'm like, well, we could have waited until it was finished.
We really could have.
We could have waited until it was finished. Or you could have invited them in one of the rooms that really is nice and done it and had it there.
They could have had this in her closet. Her closet is nice. Her glam area. She could have brought those nice high back chairs that she had there. They could have set that up in her area. That would have been nice. But she also wanted to be reasonably shady to Wendy and to Karen specifically because she did not want them in her home.
Which is
that whole thing was just a mess. It was just a mess.
It's so petty.
It's sad.
It's
and
sad.
Petty. Yes.
But if she feels like she wants to be shady and that's her persona.
Reasonably so, I guess.
Reasonably so, I guess.
Yes, but she had a time defending her situation on Watch What Happens Live.
She did.
Oh my gosh. I felt bad for her because I also feel like some of these contractors now, you should have told her the West Wing ain't gonna look right. Just built out all over. Unless you were gonna put another column on the other side, I don't know. To even it out, it doesn't look right.
Okay. And I'm not saying that I'm the best PR person. And clearly, you can look at my Instagram and be like, what is she doing? Who is this person? And why is she showing us all these things? But what I would have loved is if she did had her architect draw up a B, or C version. And then had the audience be like, okay, A, B, or C. Because people would have responded and been like, girl, B, because of this or whatever. Like, right. I don't even know what her style of house is. I'm not familiar with the names out there in that region. So I'm like, is this a ranch mostly, but raised ranch edition? See, I'm looking at the Davenport situation, those first 4 little skinny pillars. Yes. And she's building out from that main one. I honestly think that it was from that maybe 3rd pillar where that window is new. That long window, that's got to be new. I think, and I'm willing to bet that that's also garage. Because that's one thing too, in the South or South-ish, particularly on the East, they decorate a garage, you know what I mean, to keep the symmetry of the house. Yeah. So I think that this was a ranch previously, or even maybe a modular home that was placed on a slab previously, but ranch style. She just decided to come and wanted to do a 2-story. What she should have done was, okay, fine, keep the west wing. I would have advised her to build up instead of over. And then take it up the top and then do a whole penthouse type of situation. And maybe with a wrap around outdoor stairs if she wanted her own private entrance. And, because I imagine, and that was the thing. We're looking at the front of the house.
which is why she's building that huge, entry foyer situation.
This grand entry, which is, and it's higher
than the whole house. Right.
I just got it, sis.
Okay, send it, girl.
I got it, sis. I got what it looks like.
Okay.
You know when the church do a building fund.
Oh Lord.
And they, put a ramp here for the elderly to get up. We gotta, remodel the baptismal room. And like it feels much like how that larger end looks like. It looks like a church edition. Mm-hmm. And then like that flat part is like the dining hall. That's where you go and you have breakfast. They probably have a couple of Sunday school classes in there. Like it feels it doesn't feel like a home. It feels like a church or an annex or something like that. An
annex. Ooh, that's a good. Mm-hmm. And now, did you send this thing to me so I can look?
Yeah, I'm sending it, girl.
Okay. Look, I'm checking all my little spots. No rush.
I'm sending it to you now. Share the image. So yes, I wish her all the luck.
Me too.
And I hope that it turns out to be everything that she wanted for her and her girls. Because I know that she loves her daughters, and I think that a lot of this also is to show them that despite the fact that their dad has these other things happening around him, that she's holding it down and making a way as a woman, and that I think that I don't, with all of the shenanigans that she's involved in, I don't get lost on that message that she does have 3 daughters.
That's important to remember. I think that's very important.
Yes.
And she's not doing it depending on a man to do it, because that would be very easy. Giselle is beautiful. She is. I don't take that away from her. She is beautiful.
Gorgeous.
And I think that it would really be nothing to attract a man that had means and money. But I can appreciate even the men that she's brought onto the show. I never got the vibe from her that it was, you got to take care of me and my kids. You got to take care of me and my kids. You got to take it. I don't know if that's how she gets once she's connected. I saw her struggling to connect.
Yes.
So it'll be interesting to see how it unfolds. I also wish her well with this house situation. I can't wait to see what it's gonna look like next. Yeah. I'm kind of like Celie from Color Purple. I'm just waiting to see what it's gonna look like next.
See what it be. Well, sis, we've reached almost an hour, girl. We've just, we were catching up, audience. Maybe we can talk a little bit before we go about what we've been up to and what we're doing, and kind of, providing some context for our show and projects.
Yes. We always thank you for listening. We thank you for being with us. As you know, we launched our Survivance Project, which was our grant-funded storytelling project. Mm-hmm. If you haven't already, check it out at Survivance, SURV as in Victor, V as in Victor, ANCE.IO. Survivance.io. We started with stories from the pandemic, life 1 year after the pandemic. Not little did we know we going into year 2. Yeah. Almost, my Lord Jesus. But anyway, it was a very successful project that was generously started with funds from the Field Foundation of Illinois. Yeah. Shout out to Lolly Bowen for believing in us and for your guidance and exposure with this project as well. So we're thankful for that, which leads us to this conversation that we've been kind of having in the background, figuring out this auntie space. Because, hey, when we first started this thing, back when, podcasting was very much underground and struggling digital medium, we were younger, different life experiences, et cetera. Mm-hmm. And now at this age and stage and place in life, we want to shift our voices in this space to reflect that. We're more than the Pisces life. The Pisces life was where we hung our hat because of our birthdays, et cetera, et cetera. Mm-hmm. And now that the Survivance Project has come about and we've been birthing that space, we're actually thinking about transitioning to just becoming Survivance as a storytelling mechanism. And in this space, being more of interview type, being more storytelling as well with special guests to kind of be thematic across the things that we're doing. Am I explaining that right, sis?
Absolutely. You captured it beautifully. If you are a fan of this podcast, you know that part of our appeal, part of our shtick, if you will, is that we tell stories, not only about ourselves, but about other people. That is how we communicate. We are less like documentarian, less single opinion. We really have all of our opinions, thoughts, jokes, and other opportunities of expressions come as a result of a story. We want to be centered on storytelling because of how important it is for the stories of real people to be collected, curated, and shared. It's not just the people who are famous. And yes, we spent a lot of time today talking about recording artists and things of that nature because, again, you know, we have interest in lots of spaces and places.
Yes.
But the stories are what's super important to us, and the stories of surviving things, whether it's been something traumatic, whether it's been something victorious, like there's stories across the gamut. And we think that this is a good moment for us to pivot and find our next place to land. And we hope that you, our audience, will pivot with us and bring some folks too that will enjoy what we're cooking up, if you will. The aunties is cooking up over here for your listening and viewing enjoyment.
Yes, absolutely. Oh, so this has definitely, it felt good to get back on here with you. We know that you have so much content out there to listen to. We truly thank you. We don't do this to be famous. We do this because we love y'all, to talk to y'all, talk to each other, help along in some small way. Sis, if they are looking for the show, like still how to reach us, you know, how can they connect with us?
Well, we're still Pisces Podcast on Twitter, so you can always reach out to us there. We are the Pisces Life on Instagram as well as on Facebook. So if they're looking for the show, they can certainly find us there. If they're looking for me, y'all know where to find me. I ain't went nowhere, and I ain't been doing too much posting either. But you know, I'm gonna do better. I'm gonna do better. Y'all can find me on the Twitter at Kai Loves You, KAILOVESU. And if you're on Instagram, you can just add a 2 to that. Kai Loves You too on Instagram. I look forward to continue the connections. Sis, if the people are looking for you, where can they find you?
Well, they can find me at IamJustLetitia, LETITIA. And that's everywhere, Facebook, Instagram, as well as Twitter. I'm still locked, honestly, on Twitter and Facebook. But I be looking, you know, just be like, hey, I'm a Pisces Life listener, you know. And then I immediately accepts with open arms.
Absolutely. Hello. You gotta protect yourself out here.
I don't like trolls. I don't like them trolls, sis.
A lot of trolls.
I can't, my mouth to be streets. My mouth to flip. And these people, I think the proper term is dox you. You show up at this front door about something I done tweeted out, babe, and no. I don't want to live my life like that. So
no, I don't want you living like that either, sis. So until the next time, Pisces Life listeners, we will see y'all. We are out of here. Peace. Be blessed.
Peace.
Two fish living in a dream. One swimming up, one swimming downstream. The Pisces Life. The fish living in a dream. One swimming up, one swimming downstream. The Pisces life, 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 the Pisces